Let's get loud about kindness. Just in case you thought I was quoting J-Lo here, I'm not. But I am quoting another internationally known singer who empowers women to be loud. And she's making time to be kind with us today for a second time. Let's listen.
It's time to be kind with Marley Q.
Because the time to be kind to ourselves, each other, and the world is now. Hello, and thank you for making time to be kind with Marley Q and our special guest today. This Parker is an internationally known singer. She's a star. You may remember her from Mexico's La Voz or The Voice singing competition, but you may also remember her from season 1, episode 4 of Time to be Kind with Marley Q. Welcome back to the show, Adrianna Foster.
Yay! Thank you so much, Marley. I'm so happy to be here. I love the space that you've created, and I'm so honored to be here.
Oh my goodness. Talking about the space we've created. Do you remember our first episode, our first, interview together? It was episode 4. I had just gotten started. I was so scared to put my voice out there into the world. Do you remember this?
I do. And I am so proud of you. Every time I see you, how much you've grown, and especially the way that you serve, Marley, that's awesome. I'm very proud of you, how dedicated and intentional you are of really spreading kindness and serving through your voice. That's beautiful to watch.
Oh, I love it. Can we take it back just for our Parkers listening, just in case you're new to my world, if this is your first time listening to Time to Be Kind with Marley Q or connecting with me? Adrianna, can you tell our Parkers listening, what's a Parker or who's a Parker?
Yes. So first of all, most important, Parker is your beautiful son. That I love that you name him like that. It's awesome. But a Parker is a person that performs acts of random kindness, which I feel that acronym is just beautiful.
Thank you. I really do think it's part of our identity, right? And part of the call to action here with the podcast is to unite our community of Parkers. You're out there, people that perform acts of random kindness. You are out there. And what we need is to come together to build this community so that together, park by park, right, we can create the shift that I believe this world desperately needs, a shift to one that is more kind and of service to one another. And you mentioned my son, Jude Parker. He's turning 5 in July. And when we chose to name him Jude Parker as his name, my husband laughed at me. He's like, "You're naming our kid an acronym?" And I'm like, yes. Yes.
I love it.
Yes, I am.
Because you're the queen of acronyms too. Everybody knows that Marley is a queen of acronyms. So of course your son had to have an acronym.
Yes. And also really as a guiding North Star, as a parent, if I teach my kids anything, I have 2 kids now. I had a pandemic baby now, so now there's 2 of them. And if I teach my kids anything, it's to know who they are. Right. And if you know that I am Parker, I am a person that performs acts of random kindness, I think that North Star, really serves to guide your identity, your behaviors, how you treat yourself, how you treat others. And I think if I only do that, I'll do a good job as a mom. What do you think?
I 100% agree. I couldn't agree more.
I love it. Let's take people back. In case you haven't heard, episode 4, and you don't know kind of how Adrianna and I met and how we sparked this beautiful, over a decade-long relationship now, and all the beautiful projects and the motivational concerts and the things that we've been able to launch and work on together and support each other through kind of some dark and difficult times as well. How did it start? What was the spark of this beautiful relationship? Can you share?
Love it. Of course. It's one of my favorite stories to share, because when I met you, Marley, I was at a very low point in my life. I had just come back from Mexico from a failed attempt, which I do this because as we go through it, we're going to understand that it was just perfectly, right? It was what my soul needed. Air quotes, failed attempt in my career. And I was homeless. I had no money. And a friend of mine gave me a ticket to go to this event. And then there were so many powerful women, and they were talking about branding and this and that. And I just got super overwhelmed because I had nothing. I didn't even have money to buy lunch that day. So I go into the bathroom and I start crying. And then suddenly here she comes, beautiful Marley with her beautiful light. And she saw me that I was crying. And everybody else, let me tell you, everybody else went in and saw me, but everybody else kind of mind their own business and left. I felt they felt uncomfortable, whatever. But you didn't, Marley. You did not. I don't know if you felt uncomfortable, but if you did, you worked through it and you approached me and you said, "Are you okay?" And your smile, girl, that changed my day And I can say, and I know this is going to sound very, cliche and whatever, but that literally gave a turn to my life because you totally shifted my perspective. We, spoke a little bit. I felt received. I felt like I had a friend in the audience, that I was not rejected or, seen as less than. And then that completely changed my energy. I came out and I made the most incredible connection. From then on, I started I had a job. 3 months later, because of that job that I connected in that event, I had a house, I had a car, and everything just started sparking, and happening for me. So that moment when you came into the bathroom and you smiled, it was just a turning point. And that is the reason why an act of random kindness can change someone's life. Look, I'm in goosebumps right now. And, and we've had other situations where the same thing has happened when I've been in my worst moments and God just puts you there with your beautiful energy. And you shifted my life a couple of times. So I'm your fan, Marley. What can I say?
I am receiving that fully. Thank you. I am your fan as well. And I love, what you emphasized in that super simple story is that uncomfortable feeling. I walked into the bathroom and of course there's, discomfort at seeing another person in pain or crying or upset. Right? I think there's a natural human reaction to be like, oh my God, what's wrong? And should I say something? Should I, interrupt? Should I just leave them alone? Is that what they need? I think it's a very difficult thing, right? And someone that's just at an event coming kind of in and out of the bathroom. Do we want to deal with it? Do we want to get wrapped up into a longer conversation? So, actually even having kindness with the people that just kind of came and went, right? And noticing, because I did feel uncomfortable. I'm like, oh my goodness, I just needed to, use the restroom, right?
Plus, you were emceeing that day.
I was emceeing.
You were even doing your past life event thing. So, so it was like a lot for you to take in.
No, but to really be able to see one another, to see another person right where they are and meet them there with kindness, with just presence, with a smile, with something as simple as that has the power to be the spark and to create a shift in your energy in that moment, in your ability to even be present and be like, oh, I was just in my mind about, everything that I'm worried about, that I don't have, that I lack, that I'm overwhelmed, that I'm anxious, right? But this person in front of me, this present moment, this present spark of kindness, what I call the currency of kindness, if you received it, which you did, and we exchanged this currency of kindness, put you in an emotional state of feeling better right away. And that's why I call it a superpower of kindness, because you went from a place of I am crying, I feel like crap, nobody sees me, I don't belong at this event, to, somebody just saw me. Maybe I do belong here. Let me take a breath, let me smile, wipe off my tears and get back in there. And now you're in a better state to receive the gifts and the kindness and the quote currency or business that was available there for you to receive. Yes. Right. And it was just a smile.
The currency of kindness shifted my perspective in that moment and my energy to abundance, from fear to abundance, and to knowing that I deserved, like you said, being there. And that was not only in that moment, Marley, that created a pivot, right? That persisted after that in many other instances as well. So this is what you do. You bring in, you shift, you disrupt a pattern of energy with kindness. This is what kindness does as well. Disrupts the energy of fear, lack, anger. Just poof, kindness stops that flow and opens up a flow for love and abundance and wealth. That's kindness, and that's Marley Q in person.
Yeah, I love it. So let's get loud about kindness. I love it. Let's get loud about kindness. Friends, I haven't even told you, I don't really read bios here too much, but I want you to know that Adrianna, on top of being an internationally known singer and an amazing, gifted, voice at that, who sang at my 5K Park Fest, who has sang at my Mankind Summit last year, even though she was in Mexico doing her own concert. She did a Zoom in and sang at my first virtual event. I mean, there's just so much that I can go on and on, about the singing, but Adrianna does so much more than be a singer, right? She's actually coming out. She's an authenticity architect, and she's going to talk to us about what the heck an authenticity architect is, right? But she's also a public speaker. She's a hypnotherapist. She's a corporate trainer, and she's founded the the Loud Women Nation. And I want you to talk to us about loud women, right? And how we can get loud about kindness, because you've been working at this for a while, right? Like you said, it wasn't just a pivot. It's like this ripple effect that has happened. And I've loved observing your growth, right? And your continued building, right? Of all of your gifts. So could you tell us about Loud Women Nation and what your awesome acronym for Loud stands for?
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so excited. I have so much to say. Thank you for giving me this space. So Loud Women Nation is, I have to say, it's my dream come true. And like you said, it was not born from a spark of an idea. It was born from a mountain of different eras of my life and different opportunities that I had to really become authentic myself and to have a one-on-one experience with the process of people becoming authentic. Authenticity for me, I think it's, in my personal life, authenticity has been the missing piece that I had for many, many, many years. I built a career, a life, personal, professional, based on inauthenticity for many years. And when it finally erupted and exploded in my face, I realized that missing piece, that lack that I felt, was the connection with my own truth. And that's when I was able to realize the importance of authenticity and how it is, at least I believe, it is the core for everything that we want to build in our lives, whether it's a career, a relationship, anything. We get to be authentic. And when we show up in our authenticity, we not only serve at a greater purpose and in a greater capacity, but we also experience a greater level of grace, love, happiness, abundance, and wealth. It's the formula, right, for everything that you want. So throughout my life, like you said, I've been a professional singer. I'm a professional clinical hypnotherapist. I've been doing one-on-one sessions for more than 10 years now. I work with people. What I do is that I teach people how to unblock their unconscious beliefs or their toxic self-worth systems that they learn in their childhood and step into their truth, which allows them to build a healthy life and make choices to design their lives. So this is how the term authenticity architect started coming up, because this is what I do. I teach people how to design and build a life that fits for them. Right? Kind of like when somebody tailors a dress just for you, like designs a dress just for you that you wear and you're like, oh my God, this feels so great. That's exactly how life can be. And I truly 1,000% believe it. I've experienced it. I've seen it. So Loud Women Nation was born last year because I went to Lavos in Mexico and I had a wonderful, incredible time. It was 3 months of fully immersing myself in one of the things that I love to do the most, which is singing. And not only that, but also serving my community, helping other participants there and watching, right? Watching people with so many dreams be courageous, be vulnerable, and step into their voice and share themselves loudly. It was just a beautiful, beautiful experience. And it was a little bit of a refresher, right, from my one-on-one clients and all this stuff. So when I came back, I just woke up one day in the morning and I said, listen, I need to create a space where I can put all my gifts together. I felt a little scattered. I feel like I'm doing motivational concerts here, mastermind here, one-on-one clients, audios, music, blah, blah, blah. Why can I build one place where I can put everything together? I can put all my energy, my soul, myself into it and serve women into stepping into their authenticity, and a place also where we can connect, Marley, where we can find these spark moments like you and I had in the bathroom, that we don't have to go to public bathrooms and events to find these type of spark in between women that are going through the same thing, women that want to support you in your path, that want to witness you in your path, and that can also support you in your business, in your relationship, and a very authentic, organic networking platform. So that's when I decided to create Loud Women Nation. For me, Loud Women Nation is a collective of liberated women living life in full authenticity, where they can find all the tools they need to learn how to break their silence, their toxic self-worth systems, reconnect with the purpose of life, which is their truth, their voice, and learn how to express it loud, how to show up in full authenticity, and learn how to step into this beautiful space of being loud, which is also an acronym. That means
Tell me.
Loving, open, unapologetic, and deserving. Learning what true love, unconditional love is, and the act of love that it is to accept yourself fully, to be open to seeing yourself in different spaces that you've never even thought that you could possibly step into, to be unapologetic about your gifts and share them with grace, knowing that every time you share yourself, you serve, and deserving to know how to receive, how to contain and create wealth and receive all the beautiful miracles and abundance that the world and life has for you. Once you step into those 4 qualities, your life will take place the way that you truly desire. So that's Loud Women Nation.
In authenticity, let's get loud. I love it. So I feel that I've been on this journey myself of kind of really tapping into the power of my voice. I mean, I've been a speaker for a very long time and an MC, and I get in front of people all the time, but really the podcast really put me out of my comfort zone because it's just you and I here on this microphone, right? And there's no script and there's no real teaching or it's community building. And I really wanted to create this space for people to genuinely exchange this currency of kindness, of connection, of community, and get loud about the importance and the value of kindness in our lives, kindness towards ourselves, each other, and this world that we share. Let's get loud about that. Let's be loving towards ourselves, each other, and the world. That's the L in loud. Let's be open to each other's differences, right? And what makes us unique and our skills and what we all have to contribute. Let's be unapologetic about who you are and your gifts and what you have to bring to this world, right? And deserving, knowing that you are deserving of all of it and you all by yourself are enough and have enough of a superpower of kindness in you to be as loud as you want and make the difference that you want in your home, in your work, in your community, out in the world, in whatever capacity is available to you. You can be the loudest you that you can be. And one thing that you say that I love is that, there isn't anything more powerful, right, than a human being who shows up authentically and isn't afraid or ashamed to be themselves. Can you talk to us about the relationship between authenticity and kindness?
Absolutely. I feel like kindness is the number one tool that we can use to step into authenticity. We live in a society where both, our environment, our parents, our, peers, siblings in the first 7 years, 8 years of our life, our childhood, and society, they program us to be a certain thing that we might not want to be. As we grow up, we start learning how to judge ourselves, how to tame our light, how to shrink so we don't affect others, or how to change who we are so we can belong. And those type of behaviors become very judgmental and it becomes a resistance towards our truth. I deal with people all the time that they come to me and they are super afraid to even say, what would they do if they had the complete freedom and their truth would not even hurt anybody around them? It's like, I can't even think about it, right? Or people that don't even remember because we're so separated from our truth based on our self-worth systems. And the way to step into our truth is to learn how to accept every single part of us, the good, the not so good, the not so pretty. And that requires kindness, requires that element of acceptance where I'm not going to judge myself. I'm going to see myself for who I am. I am going to accept my flaws, my mistakes, as well as see and recognize my strengths. And I am going to love every part of myself, every single part of myself. I'm going to love my pain. I'm going to love everything because I believe that there isn't anybody more powerful in this world than a man or a woman that is not afraid of who she is. Right? Is not afraid of their truth. And I believe, like Marianne Williamson says, that we are very afraid of our light because in the past, we were told that our light was not accepted, was not loved, or that it would disrupt systems or environments. So learning how to have kindness and how to see ourselves in a complete wholeness and love ourselves, that is the step number one to step into our truth. And once we step into our truth, we can build a life that serves that truth. We not only have the capacity, we not only deserve it, but it's our birthright to build a life that serves our truth. And that is where fulfillment comes in. So kindness is the element number one. We have to have that towards ourselves. And also that is how we learn how to see others for who they are, how to accept them, how to not take anything personal, and how to understand that when others come in a judgmental way or with anger, it's because they have pain and they haven't looked at themselves the way that we might be looking at ourselves. They haven't used kindness to step into authenticity. Make sense?
Absolutely. It makes sense. I'm just here like nodding. Yes, 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 yes to everything you're saying, because I really believe that and that's why I named my kid Parker, to go back to that, is because when we understand, if that's our identity, once you understand who you are, I am kindness, I am mankind, we are one humankind. Once you understand that's your identity, our standard of being with one another, then it's really easy to check in and be like, are we being authentic with that or not? It's very easy to define, is that kind or not kind? Right? It's elementary. That's why it's so simple. That's why children can understand this. And that's why it's so important to teach children about kindness, because once you identify that that is at the core of who I am, then it's very easy to step into authenticity and not have that judgment, right? Or that self-criticism or that talk, right? Or the limiting beliefs. It really is the foundation and step one. So I love that you are emphasizing that for us today, because I totally believe it. And that's why I think we need to get loud about kindness, and why, we're doing this podcast, and why I have overcome many self-limiting beliefs and doubts and self, all of that, in order to be able to step behind this mic and come back and do it again and keep doing it until, I feel that I have fulfilled my purpose and calling in life, which is to be the spark of kindness, connection, and community. Thank you so much for being a part of this movement of my kind crew from the beginning. I'm so grateful for the invitation to be a part of your Loud Women Nation as you're getting it started. And I'd love for you to share with our Parkers listening, how can we connect? How can we learn more about Loud Women Nation and sign up?
If you go to loudwomennation.com, you're going to find all the information. We have 3 tiers of memberships depending on the commitment that every person is ready to do. And I'm constantly doing different types of events, different types of free seminars around authenticity, to also educate and bring value, and to teach women that they have the power to build the life that they want. All they have to do is be kind to themselves, accept themselves for who they are, and really also adding this space of like, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not be perfect. That's also being authentic. That's also being kind to yourself, knowing like, you know what, today I messed up, I made a mistake, or I'm not feeling it. It's okay. Once you are able to connect with your truth, you can regain your power and your graceful power. Right? Gracefully, because power doesn't come from rejecting other people. Power doesn't come from guarding yourself, from closing and stopping yourself from being vulnerable. Power is vulnerability. Power is courage. That is the graceful feminine. And this is what Loud Women Nation is here to teach. So loudwomennation.com, you can find all the information, and I would love to have you there. Yay, I would love to see you.
Thank you so much for inviting our Parkers. Thank you for making this time to be kind with me again and our Parkers listening. I hope that you continue to answer the call every time I knock on the door and say, hey, you want to make some time to be kind?
Every time. My heart is always open for you, Marley. And thank you for inviting me. Thank you for wanting to share my voice and for being an advocate of authenticity and Loud Women Nation. And most importantly, thank you for the work that you do, because the world needs more of you. The world needs a lot of kindness. And especially right now, what you are doing is specifically what human needs, what human beings need. So thank you. Thank you for having the courage to share your voice and be kind to us.
Thank you so much. I received that. And thank you, Parkers listening, for being part of this movement and being the Parkers and the change that we all wish to see in this world. Thank you so much, Adrianna. So what do you say? Let's get loud about kindness? I hope you found this episode as inspiring as I did. Make sure you join our kind crew and be the spark of some great conversations over on our private Facebook page. If you haven't joined us yet, we have over 300 beautiful, kind-minded people that engage in our private group. So join the party. You can find the link in our show notes. Just visit marleyq.com/this episode number. So whatever number this episode is, you can easily find the transcription, the show notes, the links to connect with Adrianna and Loud Women Nation at marleyq.com/this episode number. Thanks again for making time to be kind. See you next time.